Patio. Hi guys.
Hi guys, it's Erin from Ginger's Florals. Today we're gonna do a farm tour. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. Can you see all that sunshine? It's gonna be almost 70 degrees, and as unusual as that is, I'm gonna take it. So we're just gonna walk around, see what we can see, what's blooming. There's a bit more than normal this time of year, and yeah, I'm gonna turn the camera around and go for it. So we're starting outside of the greenhouse. I think I'm gonna do a separate greenhouse ceiling tour because there's a lot going on in there, and I'd like to take my time to do that. So I'm gonna start over here at the chicken coop bed. We call it that because there's the chicken coop. We did get a few new chickens, a couple white leghorns and a couple black ones. I can't remember what type they are, but they're getting used to their new home with their new friend, with our old chicken. Okay, so these are the ranunculus that we planted together, oh geez, probably close to a month ago. And they're doing really well. We've had a few cool nights, but they don't seem to be bothered in the slightest, so that's promising. This row, the anemones, they're really starting to bloom. I cut probably 50 or 60 blooms off of it yesterday morning, and they're churning them out. And then a ranunculus, I took down the hoops because it's not likely to get a hard freeze again that I would need the covers, so we're gonna risk it. I left the little hoops down there so that I can throw frost cloth if needed, but I think we'll be okay. You'll have to forgive the harsh light today. It's a little bit early in the day. But I do need to come in here and do some weeding. There's some little bits that have popped up, and I'll be doing some fertilizing maybe this weekend. I'll take you along to show you how I do that and what kinds of fertilizer that I use. But yeah, this field's looking great. I've never had ranunculus look this good, and some of them look like they're almost ready to burst. So now all of our shrubs, like the snine bark, they're all starting to leaf out. Everything is super excited. I do have some pruning yet to do. This is the buddleia, butterfly bush. I still haven't cut it back, but I was waiting for some fresh growth to come from the bottom. I might just hack it down to a foot or so above the ground and let it go. I have lots to do in all the garden beds, and that's probably the order of business for the next week or two, is getting these all prepped and getting those weeds out of there. These ones in particular are the absolute worst. These little white flowers. They look real pretty when they're in the forest and they're just like little fairy flowers, but they're, what do we call them, a shatterweed. They bloom these cute little flowers and then obviously create seed from that, and the minute you touch them, when you try to go pull them, if they've already set seed, they shatter and the seeds fly. They're the worst. And I have them everywhere. So yeah, the next couple of weeks it's gonna be all hands on deck to get all these garden beds weeded out and ready to go. These, yep, same thing. They're all in here. John is gonna get after this rose. It started to leaf out, but it'll be just fine. Okay, out into the field. So same thing. I just need to get in here and weed. You can see we have the little red bits coming up. Those are our echinacea coming back. The lupin, they're gonna bloom super early. They liked this winter, but I need to weed around them. And then the yarrow is already coming back. just needs a good weed. These, I keep saying it over and over and over again, I just haven't gotten to it. But I need to pull all these chrysanthemums. I have a bunch of starts already. And then weed this bed and then decide if I'm going to put any more in here. This bed is an absolute mess. These, you can see them closer up. These are the shatter weeds. But in here, this guy, that is an eryngium. And they're all in here. They came back beautifully. Just need to weed everything out of the way so that they can go. Let's see. The field out here, I have lots of, I planted all kinds of larkspur and bupleurum, and they just didn't do what they were supposed to do. I have a few scattered here and there. You can see that's one right there. But most of them did not take. I don't know if the birds got to them or it was just a weird wet winter. And there's Izzy coming to join us. Hi, Izzy. But the foxglove and Sweet William and Sweet Rocket that I planted in this bed, they're looking pretty good. And then the biggest part is that all of this field has compost. We got a load, it was 15 yards of organic fish fertilizer, and all but probably 4 or 5 tractor loads full have been spread out here already. John, today, part of the plan is for him to finish loading out all the rest of the compost out here and then till it in. We have such hard clay soil. You can see his tracks from where, just driving in and out of here. It's solid. You can see it's completely solid clay. So we're tilling this in. Last year we put probably 6 inches of compost in there. This year we are going for just a couple of inches. But yeah, look, it's been so wet that it's like a quagmire. But the compost will help. It'll feed the soil and it'll just get better year over year. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. Once this is all tilled in, all I need to do is rerun the drip irrigation that's all sitting back there along the back, and pull out my trusty map of what I'm gardening, what I'm planting where, put the weed block down where it needs it, and just start hardening stuff off so that I can start planting. Some of the stuff that I have, like stock and snapdragons, they feasibly can go in the ground right now. I just walked over here to show you this. This plum tree, it's grafted with 5 different types of plums, and they all bloom at different times. So this section right here is in full glorious bloom, and the other ones will bloom later. And the bees love it because this is one of the first things blooming here, and they need the food. So yeah, this is the field. It's all prepped, getting prepped. It's almost done. Today it should be ready and I can start planting. That is the best day. Oh, I got allergies out here. Things really are starting to bloom. I just wanted to take a peek back here at our little shade garden, see what's happening. Oh, the Brunnera popped back up. It's looking good. And then the hellebores, the heucheras coming up, the Virginia. Oh, I love this one. This is my favorite hellebore. It does not like the sun at all. That's why we put this rock right here to block the sun. Okay, so let's head back up towards, hi Izzy, towards the other gardens. The shed has been a lifesaver. If you watched the last couple of videos, you'll see we did a lily planting video, And all of the stuff that used to be piled up behind the greenhouse is now in this shed, and it's absolutely fantastic. So here, this is along the chicken run. You can see the lilies are popping up. My forsythias are starting to bloom. Everything is getting going. It all thinks that it's much later in the season, I think. Let's go around the back of the greenhouse. Don't mind the ugly propane tank, but this is where all the lilies went. I got probably 300 in there. I have a good 100 more that need a home, so I'm also going to work on that in the next week. Over here, the St. Francis garden, I have some pruning I need to do on these euonymus. The tops kind of died back a little bit, but the daylilies are popping up. Everything over here is looking pretty good for, considering it's just coming out of winter. Again, more weeding, more shattervine, or scatterweed, whatever it's called. The hellebores, look at these. I can't get enough of hellebores. They are my best friend all winter long. Those guys. We have our heuchera needs to be cut back, but it's coming up. The roses have put on some growth. The leucogen, can you see that? They've all broken dormancy. Coming up. Winston is in the woods back here. All of our lemon cypress, they're loving their life right now. The ferns are starting to come up. You can see the little bits in the middle. Some of our bulbs back here. And that's kind of it for over here. The wild roses, they don't take long at all before they start putting on new growth. Can you see that? Yeah, it's kind of a mess. So I still have not gotten to cleaning up the Dusty Miller and all these perennials, but like I said, next couple weeks that'll go and get fixed. I did plant David Austin Rose, Queen of Sweden, right there. I love David Austin roses. The English garden roses are my absolute favorite, and I put 6 more in a video posted the other day. Okay, this is the bedroom garden, and Izzy still following us everywhere. Hi, Izzy. We have everything fenced off, less for the dogs, more for the rabbits. So my feverfew did not come back. So there might be 1 or 2 little bits in there, but for whatever reason it didn't survive. So I'm gonna dig this bed up, plant one of my cool season flowers. I still haven't cleaned up my Sweet William, though that's again on the list for this next week or 2. Amazingly, these sweet rockets, they are so happy. They loved this winter, and they came back. Well, they never really died. They're just gorgeous. And then, sorry about my shadow. Let me turn around this way. Then it's pretty harsh lighting, but you can see we have a couple thousand tulips that are here, and they are loving this weekend. I'm a little worried that they're all going to bloom super early. You can see that one right there. It's trying to. But like I said, it's going to get cold again, so that'll slow them down. See that little bud in there? I don't want them to pop up and be too early. Yeah, and they'll end up being short. My daffodils, on the other hand, they're not waiting for anybody. These are all popping up and getting ready to bloom. So the next couple weeks we'll have loads of daffodils. These narcissus. These are some of my favorite. We don't have, the farmers market doesn't actually start until the April 13th. So this year, because everything's so early, most of these narcissus are, they're gonna live on my kitchen table, and I'm not gonna complain about it. We also, when we did the video the other day, we also planted 1, 2, 3, 4 more roses here in the cutting garden. So we'll have 4, 5, 6, 10 in this garden. I think after this year, there's a good chance I'm gonna take out the peonies that are here, move them somewhere else, and put more roses in here. Take out the echinacea that's over here coming up. These little red bits, those are coming up, but I'm gonna take those out, I think, and make this whole back corner all roses. So right now, this is one of my absolute favorite things happening, is this star magnolia tree getting ready to bloom. They are so beautiful. When this whole thing is in complete, like, full bloom, it's just amazing. And then it'll bloom for probably a week, maybe week and a half, and then it'll lose all of its leaves and it'll look like it snowed all over the ground. It's just fantastic. We have everything coming up now. This is a wild heuchera that I've just left. My columbine have popped up. The alliums back there, I think I need to feed them. See, my narcissus. We still have not planted the camellias. I need to take this ginkgo, move it up here, because it's going to stay smaller than these camellias, and then we can plant the camellias in the back there. We've also got the rock rose in a couple pots back here that need a home. We just haven't decided where to put them yet. But everything, like the barberry, everything's coming to life. The prairie fire crabapple here, it is budded up and getting ready to go to town. All of our peonies have popped. I love peonies. These right here are the Triloba black-eyed Susans, and they self-seeded from, a bird must have dropped the seed, because I only had them in the back field. But last year, one of them came up and grew. I just left it alone, and it has reproduced, self-seeded again. So I'm perfectly okay with that. I love it. We have our, it's a poppy, oriental poppy, barberry. This is another crabapple. I don't know what type, except that it was called a lollipop. So yeah. And then we have a lilac. This one, we're gonna have to move it. Probably not this year, but maybe next fall. It's in the wrong place. It gets way too big to be right here. It'll get 12 feet tall, and it'll block this crabapple. It's not in the right place, but it'll be beautiful while it lives there. And then you can see I still haven't pruned my climbing rose right here. Gotta get after it. Okay, into the veggie garden with a real quick stopover. The hydrangeas have all put on lots of fresh growth. The sedum is popping up. All of the succulents are happy. And I have done almost nothing in here. John's going to leave me, there's the compost piles. John's going to leave me a couple yards of compost so I can amend all these beds and get ready to plant. I have some seeds to start this weekend, and some of those include veggie seeds like tomatoes and whatnot that are going to go in these beds. I just have to get after it. But I did want to look at, well, obviously our gorgeous little daffodils. They come out first thing every year. And our blueberries, they're getting ready to bud up. Garlic, I need to fertilize the heck out of this. It needs it badly. They're getting kind of yellow and kind of sad. They need some food. So that's on the agenda for today. And then all of these irises all along the edge, they are super happy. There's a couple, I need to bait for some slugs because there's a little bit of slug damage. But all in all, I mean, look how big that is. After being just planted last fall. They look fantastic. And then, same as before, there's nothing in any of these yet, but the day is coming very soon. You see Izzy, she's always somewhere nearby. I just love these lemon cypress. It's such a gorgeous color, especially in the winter. They get more yellow and stand out. Our little baby lavender is happy. There's nothing happening yet on the trumpet vines. But look at this forsythia. Is this not just the most gorgeous thing this time of year? It's huge. We planted it a few years ago, and it just gets bigger and better every year. There's so many blooms on it, and it just stands out like a beacon. You can see our house right there. The office is here, and we can see out here, and you can see the forsythia. It's so pretty. There's a Winston. Hi, buddy. Hi. I still need to prune back this lavender, though. I keep threatening to take it out. I just haven't been able to do it yet. Rhodey's okay. These are some kind of iris, I believe. I'm not sure. That's John. This is John's realm. This is a Russian sage that hasn't done anything yet, but look at this peony. It's getting going. Everything back here, it's pretty happy. This peony, this is a really shady area, but it gets a good amount of morning light, so it's managed to survive. As these trees surrounding us get bigger, though, it won't be too awful long before the peony can't survive, and we'll end up moving it somewhere out into the garden. It's our oldest peony. We planted it the very first year that we moved in here. These trees were tiny that year. Okay, so back around to this garden. We can see it's all in full sun now. The dogwood, this is a red twig. It's starting to leaf out. I need to deadhead prune the hydrangea. We have some tulips that are coming back, which is amazing for around here. Our iris, it always comes back. Those back there, these guys here, these are alliums that they didn't really do anything last year. I wasn't sure if they would come back, but they are, so cross your fingers they bloom. We do actually have some blooms up here. The clematis that's all intertwined with my honeysuckle. It's blooming. Same story as everywhere else. I need a deadhead. I need to clean everything up. But that'll happen over the next couple weeks, and then everything will be set. I think John, as excited as he is going to actually get to do the first lawn mowing of the season, because it's warm enough. It'll be dry this afternoon, and it needs it, which is amazing. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show you was the front little patio garden. So this is the north side of our house. This I think it's japonica. We call it a Brian plant because our friend Brian had one in his garden before I knew what it was. It got a little winter damage, but this plant will get huge. It'll be all the way halfway up this window by the time the season is up. Just need to clean all this up. This is Angelica. If you have ever grown Angelica and let it go to seed, you'll have it for the rest of your life. It just sprouts up. We had one plant many years ago over on this side of this bed, and it literally just self-seeds and pops up every year in different places. So fair warning, it's beautiful. I love it. The bees go bonkers for it, but it will self-seed. It's not super easy to pull, but you can cut it back, and that's usually sufficient. So yeah, see, more Angelica. All this just needs to be cut back. We have hostas and whatnot all throughout here that just haven't popped up yet. But the hellebores, oh, look at that. Is that not the most gorgeous flower you've ever seen? Well, at least this time of year. And this was the last rose that we put in the other day. And then our pots, this is it. We have our anemone are blooming. The hyacinths are just popping up. You can see it there. But look at these. They look great. And our little Izzy. Okay guys, that's gonna be it. We have loads of work to do over the next month, getting prepped for just, you know, spring and garden and getting everything ready so that it'll grow happily and beautiful. And the farmers market's in about a month. I'll start taking you along when we do that. Also, I'm gonna do a separate seedling greenhouse tour just because there's so much in there that I don't want to drag this video out any longer. It's already going to be pretty long, so I wanted to do that separately so that we could take our time and walk through what's in there. Yeah, this is my absolute favorite time of year. This gorgeous weather. It won't last for us a couple more days, but it's here long enough that it makes everything that much better. So I hope that you enjoy this tour. I hope maybe you get some ideas, you learn something, you can see what could be blooming in your garden at this time of year, especially if you're in a similar zone as me, 8B. But yeah, thanks for coming, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.